Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be using the Simply Celebrate stamp set from Lawn Fawn, and I wanted to create 3 cards that I could use for birthdays or other celebrations, and I wanted to make them really simple and use some easy Copic coloring. So I'm going to keep all 3 cards with the same design and just vary the images that I use. So I'm going to use the Let's Celebrate greeting from the stamp set, and I've positioned that in my MISTI stamp positioning tool using a transparency grid sheet that just helps me get everything on there completely straight. And then I put that Let's Celebrate over onto the door of the MISTI. Now the Let's Celebrate stamp is going to stay there for all 3 cards. I'm just going to be changing the image that's right below it. So this first card, I'm using the row of stars. Absolutely love stars. And then I changed it up with the row of candles. So that's almost more like birthday-esque, I think. And then for the last card, I used balloons, which could be for a bunch of different celebrations. So I have all 3 card bases stamped. The cardstock I used for these is actually Neenah Classic Crest Solar White in the 110-pound weight. And at this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to be using colored pencils or if I was going to be using Copics. I ended up using Copics, so I think if I was going to redo these cards, I would have used some paper that wouldn't bleed through on the inside of the card. Because I used this Neenah paper, it did bleed through to the back of the card or the inside of the card, but it wasn't a huge deal. I mean, I guess people will know that it's handmade, so it doesn't bother me so much if it shows coloring on the opposite side. But if I was going to make these cards again, I would have used something like Simon Says Stamp 120-pound ultra thick cardstock. That cardstock in particular doesn't allow the Copic ink to bleed through to the other side. So if you're concerned about your Copic markers showing on the opposite side of the paper, use that cardstock. And I'll link to that one down below as well, just in case you're wondering about that particular cardstock. But the one I used today, I was actually just using Neenah, which is fine. I think it colors great. It just showed a little bit on the other side. So I'm doing really simple coloring. I'm not doing any shading whatsoever. I just picked out kind of an ombre range of shades going from like a red violet to a yellow. So it goes all through the red violets to pinks to corals and then goes into yellow. And I think this color combination is really, really nice. It's feminine without being too girly, and I think it's just a really fun color combination. And also because I needed the yellow flames on the candles, I was able to use one of those same yellow shades to finish off the candle. So it worked out pretty well. I think in total I used, 9 or 10 different shades. And I just did a lot of swatching before, while I was picking these colors in order to choose which colors I would be using. And these were the ones that I did. So after I had all of the Copic coloring done, I thought about leaving the card as is, not adding anything else to it. But then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more detail just to dress these up a little bit. So I grabbed some magenta glitter paper from Simon, and I cut little itty bitty narrow strips and then adhered it to the very bottom of each card. The adhesive I use to adhere them is from Ranger. This is the multimedia matte adhesive, and I've just put a precision tip on the bottle so that it's easier to apply to my projects. And I'll link to that precision tip down in the supplies section below. So I'm adding on those little strips of glitter paper, and I like to use a liquid adhesive for this because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room as I put it down so I can get it just perfect. I then took an aqua shimmer pen from Nuvo, and I added shimmer to all of the balloons. And I also did just a select few of the stars. I decided I didn't want to cover up their faces, so I just did it on the stars that were in between the ones with faces. And then for the stars that did not have shimmer on them, I used some glossy accents. And I also put glossy accents on every other one of the balloons just to give it a little bit of shine. I added the glossy accents to the flames on the candles as well, just to finish this one off. So those are my 3 really simple Copic colored cards. I love doing kind of sets of cards like this because it's essentially the same design but different images. You can really get the bang for your buck as far as spending your time crafting. Thanks so much for watching today. I will be back very soon with another card video. Until then, thank you so much for watching.